So I was telling you that successive ionization energy. So there are some factors which contributes to increased or decreased successive ionization energy, like the attainment of noble gas configuration. Further, next is the electron gain enthalpy or electron enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. So electron gain enthalpy is just as energy is required to remove an electron from an atom, energy is released when an electron is added to a neutral atom. This is called electron gain enthalpy. Thus, electron gain enthalpy is the energy released when electron is added to an isolated gaseous atom. So it is just opposite to the ionization energy. In ionization energy, energy required to remove an atom, whereas electron gain enthalpy is the energy released when an electron is added to an gaseous atom. So it is a negative. So in case of ionization energy, I told you that in case of ionization energy, there is energy required to remove the atom. So this is electron gain enthalpy, and here some amount of energy is released, that is called electron gain enthalpy. So it is represented as delta small EGH and is expressed in kilojoules per mole. It may be noted that in general, electron gain enthalpy may be regarded as enthalpy change when electron is added to an isolated gaseous atom. This is because the electron gain process may be exothermic or endothermic. For many elements, energy is released when an electron is added to the atom, and therefore electron gain enthalpy is negative. So when energy is released, the value of electron gain enthalpy will be negative. So for example, elements of 17th group have very high, so this group element have very high negative electron gain enthalpy values, because they have strong tendency to accept the electron. So in 17th group there are halogens fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So all these elements accept an electron and get converted to respective anions. So this is the electron gain enthalpies. So electron gain enthalpy may be regarded as enthalpy change when an electron is added to an isolated gaseous atom. So the electron gain process may be exothermic or endothermic. So these elements have higher, because after gaining the one electron, the atomic number of fluorine is 9 and it possesses 9 electrons. When it gains an electron, it gets converted into fluoride anion, which possesses 10 electron, and 10 electron are possessed by next noble gas from the fluorine, that is neon. So neon possesses 10 electrons. So basically halogens achieves the configuration of electronic configuration of next noble gas, which is due to which they have higher value of negative electron gain enthalpy. Similarly, 16th group element like oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium also gains electron and gets converted into anion, that is O2 negative and S2 negative. Similarly other elements. So there is these also have a negative value of electron gain enthalpy. So factors on which electron gain enthalpy depends. First is the nuclear charge. So similarly to the ionization energy, electron gain enthalpy also depends upon the nuclear charge. The electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative as the nuclear charge increases. This is due to the great attraction for the incoming electron if nuclear charge is high. So the electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative as the nuclear charge increases. This is due to the greater attraction for the incoming electron if nuclear charge is high. Further, size of the atom. With the increase in the size of atom, the distance between the nucleus and incoming electron increases, and this results in the lesser attraction. So from the nucleus, if there are large number of electrons are present, so the distance between the incoming electron and nucleus increases. Obviously if there are two this is nucleus and these are the distance between the electrons. If the size of the atoms is already large, like here, the electron will be far away for the addition, whereas here electron is nearest to the atom. So this electron will be easily added to the atom, and which result in the more electron gain enthalpy. Further electronic configuration, the element having stable electronic configuration of half filled and completely filled valence subshell shows very small tendency to accept additional electron, and thus electron gain enthalpies are less negative. Further are the periodic trends. So variation down a group, what will happen on moving down the group? Size increasing due to addition in the principal shell, which result in the increase in the distance between the nucleus and outermost shell of the electron. So in case of this, downward the group electron enthalpy become less negative, or it will become less negative. Further variation along a period, on moving across a period, the size of atom decreases and the nuclear charge increases. Both these factors result into a greater attraction for the incoming electron, and therefore electron gain enthalpy in general becomes more negative in a period from left to right. However, certain irregularities are also observed. Further is the important trends in the electron gain enthalpy. First, halogen have highest negative electron gain enthalpies. The electron gain enthalpies of halogen are highly negative. This is due to the fact that halogens have the general electronic configuration of ns2np5 and have only one electron less than the stable noble gas configuration. Thus very strong tendency to accept the additional electron, and their electron gain enthalpy are therefore highly negative. Similarly, electron gain enthalpy values of noble gases are positive, while those of beryllium, magnesium, nitrogen and phosphorus are almost zero. So they are saying that beryllium, magnesium, phosphorus and nitrogen have almost zero value of electron gain enthalpy. So electronic configuration of beryllium is 1s2 2s2, magnesium is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2. Further, phosphorus 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p3, and for nitrogen 1s2 2s2 2p3. So you can see that these have fully filled shells, these also have fully filled shells, and phosphorus has exactly half filled p orbital, and nitrogen also have half filled. So yesterday I told you that is same case apply here, that half filled or fully filled subshells have extra stability associated with them, which makes them reluctant to the addition or loss of the electron. Similar case applies to the noble gases. So next is the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is unexpectedly less negative than that of chlorine. So electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is lesser than chlorine. Why this has been asked? Because fluorine has high electronegativity as compared to chlorine electronegativity, but still the electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is higher. So why? This is due to the fluorine has the electron gain enthalpy values for halogens. Halogens are order of the electron gain enthalpy for the halogens are: fluorine has lesser than chlorine, chlorine has larger than bromine and larger than iodine. So what is this? Now it is the less negative electron gain enthalpy value of fluorine is due to the very small size of the fluorine atom. So fluorine has very small size, as you have seen in the period. It is the second last element in the its period, that is lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So toward the end of the period, size decreases and size of the fluorine becomes very much smaller. As consequence of the small size, there are strong inter-electronic repulsion. So fluorine has small size, and due to small size, the inter-electronic, that is electronic have no negative charge, electrons possesses negative charge. So negative charge in inter-electronic repulsions are very strong. and the subshell of fluorine is 2p, which is very much compact. Hence the incoming electron does not feel much attraction. So element with most negative electron gain enthalpy is chlorine. So it may be noted that in general the electron gain enthalpy of some third period elements are more negative than the corresponding second period members. So this is due to the smaller size of atom of the second period elements, which would produce larger electron-electron repulsion for the additional electrons. Next is the electronegativity. So what is electronegativity? That you have listened this word again and again. So what is electronegativity? Electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair in a molecule toward itself is called electronegativity. So tendency of a atom to attract a shared electron pair in a molecule towards itself is called electronegativity. So there are, suppose that a molecule possesses two atoms A and B. So it is a heteroatomic molecule, or it may possesses like more atoms like A, B, C, or it may have different structure like A, B, O, this type of structure. So all in all, what is electronegativity? Electronegativity simply means when two atoms are attached to each other, they have a tendency to pull this shared pair of electron. This bond simply means two electrons, so they have tendency to pull the shared pair of electron toward themselves. A and B both pull electron toward themselves, and which atom will be stronger in pulling the electron towards itself, that will have higher electronegativity. Suppose that this electron pair is displaced slightly toward the A, so it means that A has higher electronegativity than the B. What is its consequence? Consequence is simple. Electron is negatively charged species, so there will be high concentration of negative charge on the A, whereas B will automatically have the higher concentration of positively charged. Similarly, in case of these atoms, suppose that A, B, O are attached. So suppose in case of AO, the O has higher tendency to pull the electron toward itself, so it will be partially negative charged. And similarly, among A and B, A have higher tendency to pull electron towards itself, so A will have partially slightly negative charge. So this is the electronegativity, and there are different scales to measure the electronegativity, and the scale in your syllabus is given, that is Pauling scale of electronegativity. So what is Pauling scale? Pauling scale was given while Linus Pauling was the first to propose a scale on the electronegativity. He proposed that scale based on bond energies in heteronuclear bond. He suggested that if two atoms A and B had the same electronegativity values, the bond energy of AB bond would be equal to the geometric mean of the bond energies of AA and BB bonds. So that is electronegativity of a bond, that is EAB bond is equal to EAA multiplied by EBB raised to power half. So it is raised to power half. What is EAB? This is the bond energy of the EAA bond, and what is EBB? This is the bond energy of EBB bond. So this relation is based on the assumption of pure covalent bond in A2 and B2 and AB molecules. However, he observed that for most of the AB bond, the actual bond energy is more than the geometric mean of bond energy of EAA and EBB. This means that two participating atoms have different tendencies to attract the shared pair, that is have different electronegativities. In other words, the bond AB will no longer be purely covalent bond. As a result, there is contribution of ionic structure A plus A positive, B negative, in addition to pure covalent AB structure. So this is the electronegativity, measurement of electronegativity. There are different scale given in your book like Mulkin-Jaffe scale, Sanderson scale, Allard-Rocho scale. So these are different type of scale. Further factors affecting the electronegativity. So you may study the different factors. Next we will take the S block elements in our next lecture. This was the part of Same chapter, that is, first of all we studied different periodic properties like ionization energy, electron affinity, size of the atom, and electronegativity. Now we will study the next part in same chapter, that is S block elements.